3 global organizations are implementing a plan to teach kindergarteners about sexuality and, quote, empower children to say yes to sexual encounters. This according to a new report in the Epoch Times. We spoke with its author, Darlene Sanchez, to learn more. Darlene Sanchez, thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And Darlene, you just came out with an in-depth report titled Global Network Promotes Sexual Rights for Children. Tell us about what you found here. How young are we talking?
Well, some of this sexual ed starts in kindergarten, believe it or not, and, goes through high school. Most parents out there, I think, would be familiar with sex ed, maybe starting in middle school and, certainly, something in high school. But this is starting at kindergarten level. And parents need to be aware they might start seeing this.
And from what you found, who or what are the groups pushing this? What's behind this?
Well, there are actually, a consortium of global networks, global entities and agencies like the United Nations, the World Health Organization, and then the International Planned Parenthood. Those 3 groups seem to be, laser focused on sex ed and, believe it or not, sexual rights for children.
And from what you found in your research, what is the why behind this? Why are they pushing this?
Well, what happened is back when President Obama was in office, he signed on to this UN plan, basically, for the world. It's a globalist plan. And by 2030, they want to basically change the world and have, everybody have, equal rights, everybody, have, a nice standard of living, that sort of thing. So it is like a utopian kind of thing, or trying to push for something better than what they have now for everybody globally. And so it started coming into that. And part of that is education. So within the education component, they started in with the sex ed and the consent being part of sex ed. And they're saying also that children, should be listened to when it comes down to consent and, their ability to say yes to sex, believe it or not. So what they're saying is based on a child's maturity, this child might be able to fully comprehend, understand, and give permission to have sex. Maybe 10, 11 years old, depending on their maturity level. So, of course, the critics of this are just, they're outraged, of course. One of the experts I talked to said, there are adults out there, they're working on the international level to lower the age of consent for children to have sex. I mean, I don't think many parents out there realize what's going on here. I think parents are going to have to really keep focused on this and watch what their kids are, if they sign up on sex ed, they need to make sure that it doesn't include some of this, consent and rights to pleasure. I would be very cautious.